You are listening to NewVision OldWays, the podcast that explores timeless wisdom for the modern mind in a fun, relaxed, and most important, interactive way with you, the listener. I am your host, Tony Marinaccio, and let's get the episode started. Welcome to another great episode of the NewVision OldWays podcast. And as always, I am your host, Tony Marinaccio, and I am so happy you decided to join me on a very special look at what may be the key to unlocking your superpower, and that's the control over your subconscious mind. It is a difficult concept to grasp that we all have that part of our brain that lingers in the background, controlling our moods, our behaviors, our outlook on life, but it's very much there. And most of us don't realize how incredibly important the subconscious mind really is, because we are continuously distracted by a myriad of things that cause us to not only ignore the importance of the subconscious mind, but most of the time we just keep feeding it all the wrong things, which triggers the subconscious to feed our conscious mind with only negative information, causing many of the mental health issues that we see today. So in this episode, I want to look at the important connection between our subconscious and our conscious minds and how we can in fact improve that connection and change our lives, unlocking strengths and powers we never realized we had because we were so caught up in the negative world we were living in. We all have powers that we have not tapped into yet, and it's about time that we unleash the best us that we can. And that's what we are about to do today. So without further ado, let's start the last episode of Season 3, Episode 30, The Subconscious Mind, Unlocking Your Hidden Superpower.
While the conscious mind acts directly, the subconscious works silently, affecting every one of your movements, often diverting the course of your intentions without you even realizing it. Now, imagine what it would be like to align these two forces, combining the power of your conscious mind with the immense potential of your subconscious. What could happen if, instead of being like a ship adrift, your intentions and actions became a single coordinated flow? Understanding this connection and achieving this alignment may be the secret to a life of harmony and fulfillment, where your decisions and emotions work together in sync.
There is a great quote from James Clear. He said, "Anxiety is thought without control. Flow is control without thought." I'll repeat that. Anxiety is thought without control. Flow is control without thought. It's a very important distinction, and one that forms the basis for what I will be discussing today, the power of the subconscious mind. Of course, the first thing I should do is define what the subconscious mind really is. We could define it as the part of the mind that controls automatic actions and processes information without conscious thought. It's involved in many aspects of life, including learning, memory, and behavior. It stores beliefs and values. It also monitors information from the senses and decides what to send to the conscious mind. With that definition, we could clearly see that our subconscious mind may be the most valuable tool we have, yet many of us, for lack of a better phrase, never give it a second thought. Today's science estimates that 95% of our brain's activity is unconscious, meaning that the majority of the decisions we make, the actions we take, our emotions and behaviors depend on the 95% of the brain activity that lies beyond conscious awareness. So knowing that, it begs the question, why are we not paying close attention to the health of our subconscious mind? It certainly seems that we are completely neglecting the one thing that could change our lives for the better. Our mind health, and more specifically, our subconscious mind health, should be a top priority at all times. And as I stated in the last episode, which was about dark psychology, our collective mental and emotional health is at an all-time low. So it would be logical to think that there is no better time in history to get our minds healthy, strong, and powerful, so we can not only avoid depression, anxiety, and stress, but even more importantly, so we can live our best lives and unlock those powers we never realized we had, and that's what we are about to do. A way to think of the subconscious mind is to imagine you are in a car cruising down the highway. You're in control of the steering wheel, deciding where to go and what speed to go at, but there is also something else happening. A co-pilot sitting quietly in the passenger seat, observing everything around you, keeping track of where you've been, offering little insights or nudges from time to time, influencing how you react to various driving situations based on your past experience. That's a way to think about the subconscious mind. It's like a co-pilot that is always there 24/7. It never really rests at all, processing information you're not consciously aware of, even the tiniest details about the world that your conscious mind might overlook. The best part? It's always ready to act on what you have programmed into it, whether you know it or not. And here is where it all comes back to, are we controlling our brain, or is our brain, usually with the help of outside dark forces, controlling us? This is where we need to make a deliberate and conscious choice to take the control of our brain, our thoughts, and our actions back. And only we can do that. No one can do it for us. Let's look at it this way. We are all living out some kind of story. The question is, who's writing the story? You or an unhealthy subconscious mind filled with negative experiences and habits? We have the power to control who's writing our story and train our subconscious to feed our conscious mind with positive and healthy messages that will empower us to live our lives the way we desire. We have to be purposeful in creating our own narrative. This will allow us to tap into our subconscious and give it the positive information it needs. Imagine that your life is a movie and you're the protagonist. How do you want your story to unfold? The subconscious mind loves to operate through stories. It's how we make sense of the world, how we relate to others, and how we understand our place in it. But often we let old, limiting stories run the show. Stories that were passed down to us or ones that we created long ago based on our fears of past experiences. So what happens if we start rewriting the script? What if we, instead of letting the subconscious pull from old scripts of struggle and limitations, you intentionally begin writing a new story, a story where you overcome obstacles, embrace change, and achieve what you desire? You will be surprised how quickly your subconscious starts picking up on those new narratives and begins playing them out in your daily life. It's like programming a GPS to guide you down a new, more fulfilling path.
The subconscious mind stores every significant memory, from the most remarkable moments to those that seem trivial. Unlike the conscious mind, which focuses on the immediate present, the subconscious mind is always active, processing and storing information far beyond your conscious perception. This includes the emotions you feel when facing a challenging situation, the beliefs you have developed over the years about what is possible or not, and the habits you repeat without thinking, shaped by internal patterns that you may not always understand.
Reality tells us that rewriting our story is not as easy as it sounds. Why? Well, our subconscious mind has an incredible ability to store everything we experience, from the everyday moments to the most significant events in our lives, both the good and the bad. Our subconscious holds on to them. When those memories are associated with trauma, fear, rejection, or pain, they can become deeply embedded in our subconscious, affecting our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors for years. When we experience something emotionally charged, whether positive or negative, the emotional intensity of that moment makes it more likely to be stored in our subconscious. This process is part of how the brain helps us make sense of the world, protecting us from the dangers or remembering a joyful experience to possibly repeat it. Painful or traumatic events get stored with a heightened intensity, often because the brain associates them with danger or survival. This is the body's way of protecting itself, remembering the hurtful event to avoid similar experiences in the future. The issue arises when those memories, especially the negative ones, are not processed or healed. Instead, they get stuck in our subconscious mind where they can influence our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions in ways that can further hurt us without us even realizing it. Subconscious memories can shape the beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world. If you've experienced abandonment, betrayal, or abuse in the past, your subconscious mind might develop core beliefs like, I am not worthy of love, or people will always leave me. These beliefs can influence how you approach relationships, work, and life choices. These limiting beliefs often feel like truths. Even if they are only rooted in past experiences, your subconscious mind will continue to operate as though these beliefs are facts, creating a cycle of self-sabotage or fear-based decision-making. Emotions tied to past trauma can manifest physically. For example, a person with unresolved grief or anxiety may experience chronic tension, fatigue, digestive problems, or sleep disturbances. The subconscious mind's refusal to process or release past pain can trigger a constant state of stress, leading to a number of health issues. Moving beyond the present, the unresolved pain stored in the subconscious mind doesn't just impact how you react today, it also influences your ability to move forward in life by giving you a fear of change, a fear of failure, difficulty in building healthy relationships, a feeling of life being stagnant and unfulfilling. To complicate matters even more, our subconscious mind gets battered daily with information overload from the intense digital world that we live in, never giving us a chance to clear our thoughts and concentrating on the story of our lives that we so badly want to rewrite. Instead, we are scrolling, looking at, and listening to information that in most cases, causing our minds to weaken and get overtaken by the dark psychology of the manipulators I spoke about in the last episode. Every moment of our lives can be punctuated with notifications, social media feeds, instant access to information, and an ever-growing stream of digital stimuli. It's like a flood of data constantly washing over us, and the storm affects the deepest layers of our minds, our subconscious. We cannot let the information overload cause our attention to get completely fragmented. If this happens, it can then cause self-doubt that permeates our minds and stops us from being able to find positive thoughts. Instead, our minds are programmed with every negative thing imaginable, and moving forward in our lives becomes almost impossible.
It's also the everyday moments, the notifications you check, the headlines you read briefly, and the ads you see in passing. These brief instances of influence build up day after day, like water droplets sculpting stone, shaping you into a version of reality that isn't truly yours. But this scenario isn't just about influence, it's about complete domination. With every moment they capture your attention, they're redesigning who you are. You didn't opt for this, but the good news is you don't have to accept it any longer.
So, by now we know how important our subconscious mind is and how it can get corrupted in our modern world. We want to rewrite our story, but we haven't been able to. So, how do we combat these negative effects and begin to reclaim our subconscious mind? Let's start with a digital detox. This does not mean I am suggesting abandoning technology entirely. It's more about setting boundaries to protect your mental space. Try designing phone-free hours during the day. Especially with your kids, if you have them, they may need this more than anyone. Try designing specific times to check social media or even emails. This concept can give your subconscious mind a chance to recalibrate and stop absorbing the senseless garbage that pollutes our minds. I've said it before, but it's the old saying, garbage in, garbage out, and it's never more truer than right now. And if you are truly courageous, try taking a full day off from screens of any kind. No phones, computers, or gaming, no TV, and allow your mind to be completely present. Replace the screen time with creative hobbies, reading, meditating, and getting in touch with your inner self, which is a direct line to your subconscious. This can be an incredible time to start the rewriting of your story. Mindfulness meditation is one of the most effective ways to combat the constant barrage of stimuli. By learning to be present, you can start to filter out the noise and become more aware of the subconscious patterns that digital media is influencing. Practicing meditation or deep breathing exercises allow you to quiet the constant chatter and get in touch with your inner self. Over time, mindfulness helps you regain control over the subconscious mind, empowering you to choose your mental and emotional responses instead of reacting automatically from deep-rooted negative experiences that your subconscious relied upon in the past. The subconscious mind is habit-based, and if we go back to episode 15 where I spoke about your thoughts and words and how they manifest who you become, negative self-talk will manifest negative things in your life. Positive self-talk will manifest positive things in your life. Your subconscious can work in both arenas, the negative and the positive. So reprogramming your subconscious mind with positive input is key. Your subconscious mind thrives on repetition. So why not replace negative patterns with positive ones? Use the skills I have touched on in previous episodes like positive affirmations, guided visualizations, also known as guided meditation, the relaxing technique that involves picturing positive images or scenarios in your mind. The goal is to help you feel calm and relaxed, reducing stress, anxiety, and pain, providing an overall sense of well-being. You could try positive media, whether it's podcasts like the one you're listening to now, or books, videos that reinforce positive beliefs and actions. The more you introduce your subconscious to empowering content, the more it will start reflecting those beliefs and behaviors right back to you. The digital age is not going anywhere, but we have the ability to decide how it affects us and our subconscious. We have the power to take control of what we let in by becoming mindful of the content we consume, by setting boundaries around digital use and reprogramming our subconscious with intention. We can harness the power of technology to support our mental and emotional health instead of letting it control us. We control it, and we can then break the addiction. It can be done for sure. Now, at this point, I think it's important to ask, how can we be sure we are reprogramming our subconscious the way we desire so we can get back to writing our new story and have the confidence to move forward? Well, there are some great telltale signs we need to recognize that will let us know we are on the right track. One of the most noticeable signs that we have successfully reprogrammed our subconscious is we will notice a shift in our thought patterns. The way we think about ourselves and our circumstances and the world around us will start to change. For example, if you have been working on overcoming self-doubt, you might notice that your internal dialogue is more encouraging. You will stop hearing that inner critic that telling you that you are not good enough. And instead, you will begin to believe that you can handle challenges with confidence. When you think more positively about yourself or a situation, that's a big indicator that your subconscious has started to adapt a new empowering belief. Another noticeable thing will be that your behaviors will change. Your actions will now reflect your new beliefs. Behaviors are often the clearest reflection of the subconscious reprogramming. If you've been working on reprogramming your mind to adapt healthier habits, you will start seeing those habits show up naturally in your everyday life. For example, someone working on overcoming procrastination might find themselves tackling tasks with more ease and less resistance. And what you're looking for here is effortless action. When you stop forcing yourself to make positive changes and instead they begin to feel more natural, that means you have successfully reprogrammed your subconscious. Another example can be that if you have been working on being more disciplined with time, you'll find that you no longer need to remind yourself to stick to a schedule. Your subconscious mind has internalized the behavior, and now it just happens. Another way to know that you have reprogrammed your subconscious mind is that your emotional reactions start to shift as well. For example, if you've been working on letting go of anger or frustration, you might notice that you no longer react as intensely in situations that would have triggered a much stronger and destructive emotion before. The emotional regulation comes from the subconscious adapting to new beliefs and strategies for managing emotions, and you no longer feel overwhelmed or out of control when things do not go as planned. Your emotional responses are more balanced, calm, and measured. The emotional mastery is a strong sign that your subconscious has been rewired for resilience and inner peace. If you have struggled with negative self-talk before, now with your subconscious reprogrammed, you can now catch yourself starting to think a self-critical thought and immediately replace it with something positive. This awareness is like a mental alert system that keeps you aligned with your new programming, and it shows you are successfully retraining your subconscious mind. Other areas that will expose how well you have reprogrammed your mind will include things like you will be less resistant to change. Change can scare people, especially when they are not in control of it. But reprogramming your mind to believe that change is necessary, and in many cases, exciting part of life, will ease that fear and allow you to see the possibilities instead of the worry and the fear you concentrated on before. You will find that if you have struggled in the past with relationships, you will have reprogrammed your mind to be more understanding of others, to see the good in people, and to not envy what others have. You will find that you will attract the right people into your life, and you can now appreciate what they bring to the table, and you will now be able to let those relationships grow and become strong when before they might have had no chance to begin at all. Your reality will now start to reflect your new beliefs. Ultimately, the true sign of successfully reprogramming your mind will be that your outer reality begins to reflect your inner beliefs. You'll notice that the situations, people, and opportunities you encounter will now more align closely with your new mindset and goals. What I have tried to do, especially in season 3, is to show how using the concepts I have gone over in all of the episodes can and will tie together. There are concepts that may work for some of you, and others may gravitate to other concepts. The key is our minds, our lives, our future is worth the effort, and we can be in control of all of that. I don't care what education level you have, we can all do this. Our lives are worth the effort. Experimenting with different techniques, make it fun. Enjoy the fact that you are now taking control and not letting the people or environments or media control us. Knowledge is power, and our minds are powerful machines that need practice, positive influence, and most of all, our minds need to know who's in charge. Show your mind who's the boss and never let it forget it. Reprogramming the subconscious mind is a journey, not a quick fix. It's a process of realigning your beliefs, behaviors, and emotions with your true desires. And as you go through this process, the signs of success will begin to show up. Often in subtle and profound ways, these signs are evidence that your subconscious has been successfully reprogrammed. But you need patience, consistency, and intentional effort. Again, knowledge is power. Try reading great books like the Joe Barnes authored Escape the System, The Rebel Code, and the Personal Freedom Manifesto. Or try books like by Ryan Bush, Become Who You Are, and my personal favorite, Designing the Mind. How about a book like This Book Will Make You Dangerous by Tripp Lanier? Or even how about the book Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Wynn? These are just a few of the many books that can help you realize your dreams and rewire your mind and make it the powerhouse it should be. So, what superpower do you have that's hiding in your subconscious, just waiting to be unleashed? Isn't it time you dig in and find it? What a game changer it will be.
The more you practice positive affirmations, visualizations, meditation, and other healing techniques, the more your subconscious mind begins to reprogram itself and adopt these new patterns as your reality. On this path of transformation, it is essential to celebrate small victories. We often focus only on big results and forget to value the small steps we take along the way. But each progress, no matter how small, represents an achievement. Recognizing and celebrating these moments strengthens internal motivation and reinforces that the path you have chosen is working. This, in turn, reinforces the consistency needed for the two minds to align more easily. Small progress, like noticing a change in attitude or a more balanced emotional response to challenges, are clear signs that the subconscious is being reprogrammed.
Yes, celebrate any and all progress you make, and I hope that listening to this podcast will help you with that progress. And as I stated many times, I believe in helping people up, not keeping them down and dependent. That is what the first 3 seasons of this podcast has mainly concentrated on, with so much more to come. Season 4 is soon on the horizon, and I want to start that season with a number of episodes on unlocking your creative mind, no matter what your circumstances are. It's going to be a season that will show proof positive that we haven't even scratched the surface on what our minds are capable of. It will be fantastic, and I want all of you to join me on the journey. It will be fun and exciting because we will start to see the fruits of our labor. The work we have put into rewiring our minds, in reaching our inner self and healing ourselves and realizing we are in control. It's our lives, and we are going to start living like never before. And soon we will unlock our creative forces, and look out, nothing will be able to stop our mental growth and strength. A lot to look forward to for sure. So I thank all of you for a successful and fun first 3 seasons, and I am nowhere near done. I previously promised taking this show up a notch or 2, and I want to take you all along with me for the ride. So, what did you think of this or any of the episodes? I would love to find out. And here's where to get a hold of the show and let us know. These are in the show notes, but as always, here they are. There is a link that you can click on that will allow you to donate to the show and show your support. By donating what you can, it will allow me to book guests and cover costs. Anything will help. And of course, you can cancel at any time. You can also message the show from each of your various platforms. Just look for the send us a text message link. And if that doesn't work for you, you can email us at newvisionoldways@gmail.com. Again, it's newvisionoldways@gmail.com. You can find us on what was Twitter, now X. That's at NewVision Old Way. Remember, again, there's no S on that one. So it's at NewVision Old Way. Check out the NewVision OldWays YouTube channel. Just type in NewVision, one word, Old Ways, one word, and please subscribe. It is free and will show support for the show. It really means a lot and will help grow the show on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. Same thing. NewVision, one word, Old Ways, one word podcast, and you can easily find us. And as a reminder, these are growing platforms for us and expanding all the time. So we need your help to get the flow going with the community. And last but not least, if you could do me a huge favor and subscribe to us, like us, follow us, leave a review on whatever platform you found us on, that would be so appreciated. That will also help secure guests that we will be booking in the future. Season 3 has come to a close. Season 4 is right around the corner. And in the meantime, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I can't wait to get your input. I also can't wait until we get together for the next episode of NewVision Old Ways. And until then, stay true to yourself, stay informed, and stay in power.
But the most important thing is,
this episode and all of the episodes of the NewVision Old Ways podcast have been written, engineered, and produced by your host, Tony Marinaccio and TKM Productions.